that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pebble is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, again, I just want to be clear, this is an imagined conversation, allegedly written in a birthday message by Donald Trump between the two of them. Now, let me just read to you the president's denial. The Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter, supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words, not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures. I told Rupert Murdoch it was a scam, that he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did, and now I'm going to sue his ass off. And that of his third-rate newspaper has likes to sign these days. Thank you for your attention to this matter! Exclamation point. DJT. Phil.
There's a lot of layers to this. I don't think we have the total impact. I think that it is important that we try and provide a window into how this actually works from the reporting side of things, because and I think you hear this from Steve Bannon, I think this is a Murdoch's concocted conspiracy to push through. That's not really at all how any of this works. And I completely agree with Jazz that this is a moment where the base, which has been fractured on some level, maybe not to the degree that people want to try and say it's going to be, but it has certainly had some difficulties in a way that we haven't seen.
Hey,
Hey, could you hear us?
I can't hear you right now. I have put, well,
Okay, but I still couldn't hear you. Did you try to unmute on your phone?
um, I'm on my phone and I dial in, through Zoom on my phone, and I tried to speak, but I don't. Did you have everything muted out?
Like right now, you're unmuted. If you want to try and click back over on your phone to see if you can speak,
Okay,
because
let me try that.
your computer is actually talking. I mean, the mic is moving, but I don't know why we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think I may have to try one other thing, but let me just try the phone and then I'll, okay,
Okay.
all right, bye. Hello?
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 Okay.
Okay.
It talked about, we didn't.
Hello, can you hear us?
Duplex funding.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
Lacey, will you lead us in prayer? Okay, I don't mind. Good morning, welcome to the Mississippi Board of Nursing. Before we begin today, I would ask that Dr. Lacey Gentry lead us in prayer.
Thank you, Sandra. Good morning. I ask that you pray with me, but if you choose not to pray, I humbly request that you reflect upon 3 things for which you are grateful while I pray. Bow with me, please. Gracious Father, thank you for the gift of today, the gift of Friday, a good week, a successful week, a productive week here at the Board of Nursing. Thank you for the profession that allows us to be your hands and feet and minister to those in need. Bless every soul here today. Give us traveling mercies and graces as we go about our day. Put your hand on the decisions we make. Help us to be wise and discerning as we protect the public, but as we also ensure that our nurses are empowered and are valued here in the great state. We love you and we thank you for all the blessings you bestowed upon us. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So at this time, I would like to ask each board member. Today, we're going to start to my right with Miss Moody. As we declare a quorum, please state your name.
Janelle Moody,
Harlan Walker. Sandra Culpepper.
Lacey Gentry, Janie Clanton.
Beverly Oliver.
Dr. Renee Dotson.
That being said, we have a quorum. Can I have a motion for the approval of the agenda? Move to approve. Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Can you all hear me?
Okay, moving forward, swearing in of the new board members. So at this time, we have 2 new board members that will be joining us. And the first one that I will ask to swear in will meet here in front of the desk, and that is Dr. Baskin. Dr. Baskin, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dr. LaWanda Baskin,
I, Dr. LaWanda Baskin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully support
that I will faithfully support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Mississippi,
of the State of Mississippi,
and obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
that I am not disqualified
that I am not disqualified
from holding the office
from holding the office
of nurse educator member
of nurse educator member
of the Mississippi Board of Nursing,
of the Mississippi Board of Nursing,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Dr. Baskin. Next new board member is Mr. Matthew Sistrom. Raise your right hand. I, Daniel Matthew Sistrum,
I, Daniel Strong,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully support
that I will faithfully support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Mississippi,
of the State of Mississippi,
and obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
that I am not disqualified
that I am not disqualified
from holding the office of
from holding the office of
licensed practical nurse,
licensed practical nurse,
member of the Mississippi Board of Nursing,
member of the Mississippi Board of Nurses,
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon
of the office upon
which I am about to enter.
which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So, thank you, Ms. Casey.
So with that being said, welcome to our two new board members. And so to add them to our quorum, can you please state your name, starting with to the right?
Matthew Sistrunk.
Dr. LaWanda Baskin.
Thank you. With that being said, we are going to move forward, and I believe Dr. Gentry has, let me go back for a minute. Just to make a notification, Mr. Jeremy Cummins also has been reappointed to the Board of Nursing for another 4-year term. With that being said, I'm going to ask Dr. Gentry that she would like to make some recognition to the ONW Advisory Committee members that have been a part of our group. So Dr. Gentry, at this time,
Thank
I've
you.
got your things here.
Good morning, all. I am privileged to be the chair of the Office of Nursing Workforce Committee. We task some phenomenal nurses within our state in assisting us in working on this committee. So we have a few committee members here, advisory committee members that will be rolling off today. And we are so grateful for their service to the state of Mississippi and to the Mississippi Board of Nursing. So Ms. Seaton, will you join me, please? Thank you. Our first committee member, advisory committee member, Miss Mary Jane Collins. If you'll come, please. This is in recognition and appreciation of your dedication and service to the Mississippi Board of Nursing, Office of Nursing Workforce. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Dr. Alicia Newell, if you'll come forward again, recognition of your service to the wonderful Office of Nursing Workforce Committee. We are grateful for you.
Thank you.
And next, Dr. Bianca Bully Thompson. You're here. You're here today. We do recognize her and our other Dr. Alice Austin also rolled off of our committee. So we are so grateful for Dr. Austin and for Dr. Bully Thompson and their commitment to the Office of Nursing Workforce. And thank you, Ms. Lee. Appreciate you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, ladies. All right, at this point, we will move forward. At this time, we have an open forum. Anyone from the public? All right, moving forward. Next, we will go to the legislative update with Mr. Bobinger.
Good morning. Get my mic down. I didn't know if I was gonna get here. I ended up in good shape. I was coming from the south side of Pear Orchard, and I don't know if you noticed,
Yeah.
there's nothing but paving equipment. So I I was making blocks trying to find a way to the building, but it worked. I'm here. Good to be here. Congratulations, Mr. Sistrunk, Dr. Baskin, for your appointments. Look forward to working with you. I just wanted to quickly go over a thing, and I'd like to start out. First of all, I'd like to thank our board president, Ms. Culpepper. My aunt passed away. She was in hospice for a while, but she was a career consummate professional registered nurse, and she held a high position at Gulfport Memorial Hospital for many years and worked and was well known, particularly on the Gulf Coast. And I was talking to Ms. Culpepper. She said, "Well, our nurses honor guard." Hadn't really thought about it. I was here when we had them as guests. This is a group, a chapter that was formed that they go and honor folks at their memorial services when they pass. And they came to the church and did a fabulous job. So I just wanted y'all to know that that's something to be proud of. It was so professional. It was very sincere. There was a lighting of a candle. I mean, they had a real process and procedure. And I could tell from the daughter and some of the family, it meant a lot because their mother and my aunt was a nurse's nurse. So anyway, that's kind of a point of personal privilege, but I thought it was worth noting to the board. Thank you. You know, we don't like the P word political around here sometime, but I've got to, you know, that it is what it is. I did want to mention week after next, the Neshoba County Fair. For you, I think you all know, we'll have all our statewide candidates, governor, lieutenant governors, aspiring candidates. Maybe that's a good way, Miss Attorney, to put it for some of the up and comers, but they will speak at the fair. This is a public event. Anyone can go. It's usually interesting. It might be a little more spicy, Dr. Johnson, this year due to some recent announcements, but that's always something that I usually go and like to get red dirt all over me and sweat, but that's basically, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. Unless you're fortunate enough to have one of those air conditioning cabins, but I did want to mention that that's August 21st. It's 25th. It starts and runs through August 1st. On to other things that I know Ms. Shan Montgomery over here is most interested in, as well as the board. You know, the legislature ended the session this year. It's unusual without a budget. So the Governor Reeves had to call them back for a special session. And that was done at the end of May. Fortunately, we got House Bill 25, our appropriation bill, passed, but not only passed, I think our funding was good and something we were really excited about. And I had worked on a lot, and we had 4 PENS positions that were initially eliminated in the Legislative Budget Office recommendation, and we got those restored to our budget. So we're back. So Ms. Montgomery was happy that day, and more tools in the toolbox, right? So, but anyway, I appreciate you, Shan, Dr. Johnson, and the board for being so engaged in that budgeting process. And I know Ms. Montgomery, Shan, you've been working, I assume you're going to review or have reviewed the new proposed budget for the next fiscal year. It's hard to believe you turn around and you're looking at the next year, but I know there's a lot of work and effort that goes into that. And like I said, we'll have, for you new members, we usually have a Senate and House subcommittee hearing that you will be invited to when the legislature comes back into session. So usually sometime late January, it depends. It can be early February. So that is a big important thing for us. But I also wanted to mention real quick, most of the current board members that heard this either from Dr. Johnson or myself at the retreat about last session. Of course, for you new members, you're familiar with the term full practice authority for our APRNs. It's an important issue. You're going to see that legislation come again. It's something that's been worked on for a few years, but we hope to get to a point that's fair and balanced and does two things. It provides hopefully more, I think it will, access to health care to people, in particular in certain parts of the state. And it also, with this board regulating, we want to protect those patients. I'm learning, Dr. Johnson, patient protection and public safety. And so I think that will come back this session. I know it will, and you'll be hearing about that. There was a bill on midwifery that got a surprising amount of support. There was a dedicated group of providers that were really pushing to really set up a new board and a new regulatory scheme for midwifery. That bill ultimately died, but I'm sure that group was tenacious. I'm sure they'll be back this session seeking something along that. By the way, we also have a legislative committee. I want to thank Ms. Janie Clampton for chairing that, and our other two members of that committee. Thanks for your work. We had a bill that we had worked on, certified nurses, aides, CNAs, that I think we had an interest in, certainly. Transfer administration from the Mississippi Department of Health to the Board of Nursing. And that bill, there were a lot of people that liked it, but there were a few that did not. I'll leave it at that for now, but that will be back again this session, I'm sure, coming up in 26. So we'll see where that goes. House Bill 1262 is the nursing that authorizes military medics to take an exam to be licensed as an LPN. And I know, Dr. Johnson, with your military background, there was particularly some legislators that felt very strongly about trying to expedite for LPNs that process where they could be eligible to take the exam. And Shan, correct me, but I think I understand y'all have already kind of got a program in place or plan. That's remarkable because the law just went into effect a couple of weeks ago. So that's on top of it. And thank y'all for that. I know the legislators that had the interest in this will be happy to hear about that. And like I said, there's other bills that I could go through. Most of you have heard them, but I did want to mention those few key bills. And like I said, look forward to working with the new members and all of you. And Ms. Clanton and I were talking before we look up, it's going to be the fall, and we'll really start to engage and start planning for the January when the session begins. So with that, I'll take any questions. If not, I will exit my seat.
Any questions for Mr. Bobbing? Thank you, Mr. Bobbing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Next item on the agenda will be the practical nursing education report. Dr. Burks.
Morning. I have a couple of items to bring forward today. One is in regard to East Central Community College, their site visit report. Their site visit took place May 22nd through May 23rd. The entire report is attached for you all, but I will go over some of the major findings and recommendations. East Central Community College Practical Nursing Program findings are as follows. In governance, the practical nursing program, the practical nursing director administrator has the authority and responsibility for the development and administration of the program and has adequate time and resources to fulfill the role. We found that they were non-compliant. The director is responsible for the leadership and management and oversight of the program. However, she maintained a significant teaching load. In the fall of 2024, she taught content for 4 exams. They only had 6 tests. Spring 2025, she taught content for 5 exams. They also had 6 tests during that time. During the summer, She taught content for 2 exams, and she's also listed as the 3rd instructor throughout their self-study. In terms of laboratory support, she was responsible for demonstrations, preparing the lab, material, and equipment. She also served as the clinical coordinator. She organized and scheduled the clinical experiences. She was responsible for maintaining the clinical affiliation agreements. And also with the adjunct faculty, she attended clinical alongside the adjunct, and she assisted with all of the adjunct orientation. In terms of faculty and staff, the standard was met with no recommendation. For students, the standard was met with the following recommendations: that they revise the self-study to align with the content presented in the student handbook. And it was basically to separate and clarify the language used for the legal limitations and prior learning credits in the self-study. And also for transparency, to clarify and outline the process for addressing the complaints in the student handbook. Under curriculum, that standard was met with no recommendations. Resources, the standard was met with no recommendations. Outcome, the standard was met with the following recommendations: that they review and revise methods for calculating their program completion rates. The study contained incomplete data that was used to calculate their 3-year means for completion. And the recommendation is East Central Community College will receive provisional accreditation. And with that, a plan of compliance for meeting the standards must be submitted within 60 business days of the date of the board's accreditation. Provisional accreditation will be granted for a period of 24 months with a required follow-up report. The second item, Madam President, you want me to go to the second item, or?
Let's go ahead and address the first one. And so with that being said, can I get a motion to accept Dr. Burks's recommendation on East Central Community College site visit report?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Any opposed? We can move forward. Dr. Burks, you can go ahead.
Okay. The second item is Holmes Community College proposal of a change.
Did you? Okay.
Dr. Burks, quick question about that. On the non-compliance, for the administrator's role, or actually the program director's role, it seems that she was wearing many hats. And this is very concerning.
Yes.
In your professional opinion, the reason for this, are they short faculty or just?
Well, in the last couple of years, they've had changes in their administration. And with new administration not fully understanding the practical nursing program, there was where she was given these additional duties, and she was actually serving as an instructor as well as director, which kind of prohibited and caused some downfalls actually in the program. And upon us being there, going through the site review, they realized that there were some discrepancies in some areas where they can improve. So while we were on site, one of the things that the president did was he looked at her job description and started to delegate and reassign some of those things at that point. So they were very understanding, they were aware, and they appreciated the input from the team.
As a director myself, I would greatly appreciate that oversight as well. So thank you, Dr. Burks. And this is definitely an area, opportunity for growth there, but now they're on the right track. So get compliant with that. So thank you.
Holmes College, Community College, a proposal of change request. It is in regard to their practical nursing evening and night and weekend option. Fundamentals of nursing lab and clinical are currently offered in the same semester. And their request is to offer the fundamentals theory, which is that 90-hour semester course during the summer, and the fundamentals nursing lab and clinical, which is 240 hours during the fall. And the breakdown of their current curriculum is at the bottom of that page, the current as well as the proposed. And the rationale for this is to enhance the student success and knowledge retention. And by separating the theory and the clinical lab component, it allows the student to build a stronger conceptual foundation before applying that knowledge in practice. It also improves their processing time and cognitive load. Nursing fundamentals involve complex concepts that require time to fully comprehend and reduce the cognitive overload. And also student retention allows for more focused instruction in both domains of theory and skill. Also provides the instructors the ability to identify and support struggling students earlier, improving their retention rate. The evening and weekend option program typically have those non-traditional students. Many of these students work full-time and they're in class at night. And so one of the things that they're seeing with some of their scores and working with those students is the students are having difficulty just grasping and holding on to that information. They want them to do more than memorize. They want them to be able to understand that information and apply it and to provide safe and efficient care. And so that is their rationale for asking or requesting for this change. And so the recommendation is that Holmes Community College Practical Nursing Night Weekend option be allowed to offer fundamentals and fundamentals lab and clinical in different semesters, that they continue to adhere to the 2023 PM Mississippi Curriculum Framework, and follow up with Mississippi Community College Board for any additional requirements.
So with that being said, is there a motion on the floor to accept Dr. Burks' recommendations?
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation.
All right, do I have a second? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And it will move forward. Is there anything further, Dr. Burks?
I'm just going to give an update. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College update. Dr. Joan Hendricks, the Associate Vice President of the School of Nursing, retired July 27th. And Ms. Teresa McDonald is the new Vice President of the School of Nursing. And Dr. Jones Hendricks, she was instrumental in that proposal for the apprenticeship program that Mississippi Gulf Coast is now in alignment with the hospital there. Our upcoming site visits are following. We have Hines Community College scheduled for October the 29th and 30th. Holmes Community College, November the 12th and 13th. Jones College, October the 23rd and 24th. Pearl River, November the 6th and the 7th. And the community participation is listed below as well. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Dr. Burks. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. Doing a great job as always, Dr. Burks. So I need to step back for just a second and go to the Office of Nursing Workforce Report. Ms. Seaton.
Good morning. I want to present to you all the Office of Nursing Workforce and MMVP report. Under the ONW Student Nurse Retention Scholarship, we have 23 recipients that have graduated. One is scheduled to graduate in August of this year. 9 recipients have completed the work service agreement and 2 are scheduled to complete their work service agreement this year. The ONW Nursing Scholarship, this fiscal year, those scholarship applications will be sent out to each school on July the 30th, 2025. The Nursing Success NCLEX Scholarship Program opened on July the 9th, 2025. We currently have 38 applications that we've received, and we will have our first selection on August the 11th. ONW Advisory Committee, we have selected those 4 new members and their orientation is pending for this fall. Under the ONW newsletter, we're currently accepting submissions. Moving down to MMVP, we're currently monitoring 33 nurses in the state of Mississippi. 3 potential participants are pending, and we have 1 that was recently sent to legal. Under community visibility, we have the PN retreat that we participated in on June the 20th. And upcoming, we have the CTE conference, which will be August the 4th and the 5th. And I also included a packet of the ONW scholarship recipients, each student that received funding fiscal year 25, the school, the discipline, the amount that they received in their names. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Stephen. Do we have any questions?
No questions, but I would like to recognize Ms. Seaton. Ms. Shirley Pandolfi, will you please stand? and Miss Chiquita Carter. I have had the pleasure of working with these ladies alongside them on the ONW committee. And this is a hard group, a hardworking group of ladies. I'm so grateful for them. As you can see by this long laundry list, they are busy and all the things. And they have been tasked with much, and they are thriving. And we are grateful for you and all the good you're doing in our state. So blessed to work with you three ladies.
Would also like to say, you guys have done a fantastic job, especially when we pushed out the newest thing, the NCLEX scholarship. So I really want to make an acknowledgement of the great work you guys are all doing there.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Yes.
When we were talking about the criteria for the NCLEX, we discussed, that if we give money to someone taking a scholarship to take the NCLEX, that they had to take it within our state, because we did not want them to go to school here and they're gonna live in Louisiana, say Texas, and they take that money and take the NCLEX in another state. I thought we had discussed that and voted on requiring that they take the NCLEX within our state if they receive scholarship money from the Mississippi Board of Nursing. So I was just gonna clarify that.
May I speak? It's not currently in our criteria. We're considering this a pilot, so we can definitely go back and look at that. We looked at some survey data that showed the students that we surveyed in the state, even though it was a small pool of students. And I can get that information with the actual numbers back to you, but the larger percentage of students, their intentions were not to leave the state. There was a very small portion of students based on that survey that intended to leave the state
And
after
to
they graduated.
piggyback off that, it was actually less than 10%. So
Okay.
if I'm correct, I think it was less
Yes.
than.
And so that helped to drive the decisions regarding the criteria.
Okay,
But I can get that information back to you.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. Next item on the agenda will be the Executive Director's Report. Dr. Johnson.
Madam President, members of the board, and guests in the audience. Like to take this opportunity to again welcome the new board members, Dr. LaWanda Baskin and Mr. Matthew Sistrunk, to this esteemed panel of experts, the Board of Directors of the Mississippi Board of Nursing. The staff stand ready to work with each and every one of you to make your job more efficient and your transition more efficient here at the Board of Nursing. So welcome. I'd like to also talk about the annual meeting at this point, pretty much August 12th through the 15th, 2025 in Chicago. Delegates and alternate delegates. I would like to meet with you guys and talk to you. We can do it via Zoom. Hopefully everyone that's attending has looked at the business book that has been out there. I think I forwarded that information to you because that is the agenda for the annual meeting. The slate of candidates that are listed there, we would need to discuss. And I would be available to answer any questions that you may have about who Mississippi should be looking at for voting during that time to the LSC as well as the Board of Directors. There are, I think, 2-3 new positions on the Board of Directors that are up for individuals to be voted on, and some of those individuals will probably run again. So it just behooves us to get together, and I'll be contacting the alternates and the delegates so that you're prepared. You will have an orientation, and the delegates and the alternates are expected to attend the orientation on August the 13th, which is at 7 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, in Chicago. But it is a great time to get acclimated to learn what you need to do for the rest of the annual meeting, in addition to the training you'll get from me prior to attending. And Dr. Burks has served as a delegate. She's an excellent resource as well. And I think Jeremy has served as a delegate in the past, of course, Madam President. So it's an excellent opportunity to invite anyone to step up to the plate and do that in future annual meetings because you learn a lot and get to network with a lot of individuals. So board visibility, we've been very busy. I would like to highlight a couple of instances where board staff have been invited to speak in the public. We welcome that opportunity at all times because it's an opportunity to educate the public to what the board actually does. And this is an opportunity also to find out and answer questions from members of the community about the mission of the board and what they do. Dr. Priscilla Burks presented at the MNA Symposium at Singing River. We had great reviews about that. She also attended the PN Director and Faculty Retreat. Our own Brandon Walker, who is our General Counsel, did a legal presentation for UMC Oxford, and he's a repeater on this. He gets invited often now to speak at the schools on legal issues and has been well received. We got comments on that. Interestingly, Dwayne Jameson was asked to speak at the Oakley Training Center. And that was very enlightening, very positive for the individuals at Oakley. I had a lot of positive comments. I don't know if Mr. Jameson is in the room, and oh, there he is back there. Did a fantastic job. But he kind of motivated those individuals and talked about some legal issues and investigative processes. So it went over very well. That was an invite from that school to the Board of Nurses. That speaks volumes of not only the staff, but the leadership of the Board of Directors, and that people in the community seek us for opportunities to helpfully motivate the young individuals in the community and probably, hopefully, steer them to the direction of nursing as a profession. So kudos to the staff for that. Shan Montgomery has been involved in a lot of community activities. She's spoken and does a great job at speaking and tries to shy away from that. I continue to encourage and push her to speak at those when those opportunities present themselves. So I just want to make sure that you all are aware of the great staff that works here at the Board of Nursing. I'm most appreciative of all they do to make my job a lot easier. Additionally, let's talk about Operation Nightingale. Operation Nightingale is the FBI investigation of fraudulent schools. And it's an ongoing investigation. And since 2022, when that was made public to the nation about these fraudulent nursing schools occurring in the state of Florida and migrating to other parts of the United States, we have had 17 nurses that have been reviewed in our jurisdiction. And of those 17 nurses, 12 have been practical nurses, 5 have been RNs. Now, I applaud Mississippi that when I looked into those 17 nurses, probably 3 of those have moved on to other states. And those investigations went to those other states. The remaining ones we were able to clear that they did eventually attend an accreditable organization to get their nursing degree. Now that a lot of things could have contributed to that. Maybe they realized that something wasn't right at the school, and then they decided to drop out of that school and go to an appropriate institution. But this is something that's ongoing that I have to review daily. And my FBI contact will contact me if there is a nurse on our radar that definitely needs to be looked at. But it remains an ongoing investigation. There is another school out there on the horizon. I can't say what it is right now because it's under investigation by the FBI. But as soon as that information becomes available, I do diligence to look at our database to look at any nurse that has graduated from any of those schools, and then we do an investigation on those individuals. Workforce, there's been a slight increase in the RNs and the LPNs. Even since last month, there was a slight increase in the numbers, and this is consistent with what we're seeing across the nation. There has been an uptick in the number of RNs and PNs. I did send you, I think, a report. If not, I will. On NCSBN in Focus, it talks about the workforce and the uncertainty of the nursing workforce. And that information came via my email this morning. So if, when I get back in office, I'll make sure I forward that to the board members. But because there's still some uncertainty, is there a nursing shortage? Yes, there remains a nursing shortage. However, when you hone down on it, it's where the nurses are working. And so there is shortage in certain areas, rural areas, a significant shortage, not so much metropolitan areas, shortages in the hospital setting, but not in emergency room, acute care, those type of areas. So a lot of more information to come. If you have not seen the NCSBN workforce survey reports that came out back in April, I think it was published in the Journal of Nursing Regulation, then I would invite you to do so for additional information on that. It remains an ongoing, they're looking at new things every day in the nursing profession to see how this particular area of nursing shortage can be addressed and what transformative things need to be put in place to move nursing forward. You have to think differently about what we're doing with nursing, how we're doing nursing, as far as educating individuals, some of that plays into play, and then the work-life balance. They don't like to even call it work-life balance anymore, but that's what it is, work-life balance. There are more opportunities, so more to come on that. Research continues on the workforce issues. Legal actions in June, so I applaud you all for the work that you do. 14 hearings were conducted in June, 7 were accepted as ASPs. There was 1 appeal, and the yearly totals, this is since January, you've conducted 73 hearings, 31 ASPs were accepted. You've modified some ASPs, 14, admin affidavits were 11, and 2 admin denials for a total of 143 legal issues that the board was involved in. Under the investigations intakes, this is under Mr. Jameson's office as well. We've had 50 allegations over the past month. As you can see, on-site fingerprints, 294, and we've mailed out 138. This is a time when graduation kind of ramps up, so we tend to see an increase in all of these matters. Next slide. I've already talked about that. If we can go to the administrative code, regulatory updates. Regulatory updates, OLRC met in June, and as you can see, Part 2870, the gratuitous nursing definition was approved. Part 2840, Chapter 1, Rule 1.5E, the diet medication was approved. Part 2810, Rule 1.12, which was clarification of the qualifications and timeframes for initial applicants for licensure, was approved. You will see that the public records policy is pending. That's Part 2880, Chapter 2, and that deals with the fee adjustment. So that one remains pending because there's work that needs to be done on that. And the temporary emergency rule, Part 2810, Chapter 1, Rule 1.14, which Trey Bobinger mentioned about the medics, for military trained medics applying for the NCLEX PN, the public comment period became effective July 1, 2025. And right now we have a temporary emergency rule in place with an application process in place for individuals to apply if they meet those the qualifications as stipulated in the law. Now, I will preference that by saying they will be eligible if they pass the NCLEX for a single state license only. They will not be able to join the compact because the compact law forbids that because of the graduation requirement in the compact law, which is a national law. But they will be able to get a single state license in the state of Mississippi. So if they want to go to another state and work, they would have to see what the laws of that state and contact that board of nursing to see if they can apply for a single state license there. And I think that's all I have, Madam President. So I would entertain any questions that you may have at this point.
I did, Dr. Johnson, for myself, and it wasn't pertaining to anything that wasn't here, but I wanted to make note of, I know that we had some of you guys go on a special trip recently to the international conference. And so with that being said, maybe, do you have something you would like to share with us that maybe is on the horizon or maybe some things we're seeing internationally?
Some of the things we're seeing internationally, exactly the same things we're seeing domestically, and that's workforce issues. Again, the migration of RNs, the mobility of RNs and practical nurses, and the shortages that the other countries are experiencing. Internationally educated nurses may be coming to the United States from other areas, and it's really being a detriment to those areas in that they don't have the nurses to administer healthcare to their own people. And so this is something being looked at the international level. There are some countries that I don't like to say restricted, but pretty much we're not supposed to touch as far as receiving nurses from those countries because of the danger of them being depleted. And there is a listing at the national level, and I can get that for you, of some countries, and they call it the red zone country or something, where you're not supposed to really recruit from those countries dealing with nurses. And I know the World Health Organization is involved in that as well. But pretty much it's workforce issues, again, work-life balance issues for their nurses as well, and just education in general. So that's what we're seeing at the international level, that as I say, when we travel internationally, we're more alike than we are different, especially when it comes to nursing. Everybody's experiencing similar problems and issues with the nursing workforce. Again, faculty in those areas to educate the individuals in international countries is an issue there as well as it's an issue here, in that you don't have faculty to teach the individuals that would like to go into nursing.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I just wanted to ask you that because I didn't think about it earlier when we were talking this morning, but I did think it was important to recognize that you were there.
Thank you.
And your presence was there, and what your take was on what you saw internationally as far as the nursing community goes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, any questions other for Dr. Johnson? All right, so with that being said, thank you, Dr. Johnson. Next, we will move on to board business. The first thing we have is the request for approval of the business meeting minutes for April 11th, 2025. Would someone like to make that motion?
Make motion for the minutes.
Second. Motion to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Name's spelled wrong.
What is that?
Name's spelled wrong.
On the,
It's for April.
okay, so let's make a note of making sure to correct Ms. Clinton's name.
I'm not vice president. I was a secretary.
Okay, so she is to be listed as secretary, not vice president in that document. And I'm playing the part of secretary and president today, so be patient with me.
Okay.
Oh,
I got it.
we've both been doing it.
Mhm.
Okay. So with that being said, with the adjustment of that, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, we will move forward. A request for approval of the business meeting minutes for June 6th, 2025. Would anyone like to make that motion?
Again, same revision. Janie Clinton was the secretary at that time.
All right, do I have a second on that? Second. Beverly, that was a second from Beverly. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And we move forward. Next is the request for approval of agreed settlement proposal minutes for June 2025. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And we will move forward. The next thing on the agenda is future meeting dates. We will be having the administrative hearings and settlements October 7th, 8th, and 9th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. The business meeting will occur on October 10th, 2025 at 11:05 a.m. And for that week, the hearing panel will be Jeremy Cummins, Janie Clinton, Janelle Moody, and Sandra Culpepper. Moving on from that, next we will have the committee reports, beginning with the executive committee. At this time, coming from the executive committee, the only thing I have is a motion to approve the administrative denial of license 901409. Do I have a second?
I'll second or make a motion.
Yeah, I made the motion.
I'll
Coming up.
second.
Although, okay, with that being said, is there any discussion about that? All right, moving forward, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And that motion will move forward. Now, in other committee business, there was some discussion, and I think it would be a very beneficial thing. So in executive committee today, we discussed the renewal timeline. So typically, we know for RNs and LPNs, our renewal cycle begins in September. However, we were, after some discussion with Ms. Montgomery and the person that sets that up for us, we have decided that it would be a good idea if we decided to start opening it up on July 1st. The date that they're required to do it by is still going to stay the same. We're just going to open it up earlier for them. So with that being said, and if we decide to vote on this today, move forward, it would begin on July 21st. So we would go ahead and open it up as of this Monday. So with that being said, I will bring a motion forward to begin going forward, that renewal cycles begin on July 1, with 2025 beginning on July 21st, 2025. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Can you all hear me?
And we will move forward.
Can you all hear me?
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the Compliance Committee. Ms. Walker, have you got anything out of compliance?
Just would like to move that the board adopt the compliance committee's recommendation that we accept the 12-month extension to complete her probation for license number P-337179. Also, that we approve Kristen Cawley, LCSW, as a new board approved assessor. And we grant board staff the authority to issue up to 2 affidavits, each with a $500 fine, to licensees who are non-compliant with their final order.
So Ms. Walker has a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? That being said, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Walker. Do you have any other business? Yeah. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Advanced Practice Committee. Ms. Oliver?
No business came out of our committee.
Thank you. Moving forward, we will go to the Practice Committee. Ms. Moody?
No update at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Administrative Code, and at this current time, we have a transition period going on where Ms. Clanton and Dr. Gentry have been collaborating. And so is there anything coming out of Administrative Code?
Let Dr. Gentry handle it this time. At this time, we have nothing to bring forward, but we are actively working with legal on a few items, and we will continue to do so.
Great. Thank you, ladies. Next, we have the Finance Committee, Dr. Gentry.
Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to present my first treasurer report covering our finalized June fiscal year 25 financials, numbers for entering fiscal year 26, and proposed budget for fiscal year 27. I do want to thank the BON team that helped out with these detailed reports and sending all the documentation for your review, especially Ms. Shan Montgomery. CFO extraordinaire, among other things. At the end of this summary, I will be asking for 2 motions. One is to accept the financial reports as I will be presenting, and the other is to approve the fiscal year 27 budget to the Legislative Budget Office. So we'll start with revenue. As of June 30th, we've collected $7,615,956 for fiscal year 25, which is a 6.6% increase over fiscal year 23, which was our last RN renewal year. Most of this comes from licensure, exam and renewal fees, background checks and fines. Monthly revenue for last quarter remained solid with $161,240 in April and $159,360 in May, and $148,340 in June. Now expenses. By the end of June, our year-to-date expenses were approximately 4.2 million. This includes all regular costs like salaries, benefits, building leases, technology, travel, grants, and scholarships. In June, we also funded the ONW NCLEX grant that Ms. Seaton presented earlier. All spending was within budget, and we have about $31,000 left to open purchase orders still being processed, plus a few final June invoices outstanding. You'll see detailed summaries of these expenses in your packets for the program and vendor. Our cash position remains very strong. As of June 30th, the board had $9,748,488. This is more than enough to close out fiscal year 25 and support fiscal year 26 and a solid reserve for fiscal year 27 when LPN renewals will be coming in. Every major unit, operations staff, and programs is on budget or under budget. We've also saved on payroll due to delayed hiring and open positions. However, our travel spending is running high at over 84%. So we will be paying very close attention to that as we move forward. Now, fiscal year 26, we are appropriated $5,308,814, which is about $277,000 less than fiscal year 25, entirely due to reductions in the salary line. There were no general raises this year, but we kept all 40 authorized positions. Yay. Just a note, retirement contributions will increase by 0.5% this July, and health insurance will have a 6.5% raise this December. So for fiscal year 27, almost done, we are requesting level funding across all categories except salaries. Since no progression was awarded in fiscal year 26, this budget proposes increases across the board, 7% for nursing staff, 4% for non-nursing staff, and 2% for executive staff and the attorneys. Additionally, House Bill 1491 requires a budget adjustment of $60,000 for the Mississippi Board of Nursing to have a managed cloud services by ITS. A couple of recommendations, staffing, we do need to keep an eye on workload and consider which roles are most essential as we move into fiscal year 26 with a tighter salary budget. And in summary, the board is in a healthy financial position, I am proud to report, with all programs on track and strong cash reserve as we move forward. For anyone needing more detail, full reports will be available in your packets as noted. So now I will be asking for two motions. First, the motion to accept fiscal year 25, 26, and 27 budget reports as previously presented.
Do we have a session? All right, any discussion? All those in favor state aye. Any opposed? And we will move forward on that motion. Dr. Gentry, do you have another?
Yes, ma'am. And secondly, we need to approve the submission of fiscal year 27 budget to the Legislative Budget Office.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All those in favor state aye. Any opposed? And that motion moves forward. Dr. Gentry, is there any further?
Not at all. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask, and I will probably divert you to Cheyenne. Thank you, Cheyenne, for all you do.
Dr. Gentry, thank you. That was a great first report as our treasurer. So with that being said, we're going to move forward with the Office of Nursing Workforce Committee. Dr. Gentry, do you have anything coming from that?
No motions to approve at this time. Just wanted to report our budget was just included in the treasurer's report. We have also been tasked by Senator Hyde Smith to compile data regarding ADN, associate degree nursing faculty salaries from our surrounding states. And that data compilation is ongoing by our three ladies that comprise the ONW staff. God bless you. Again, many thanks to outgoing ONW Advisory Committee members that were here earlier and we recognized. Grateful for your service, so thank you very much. We look forward to the upcoming onboarding and orientation of our new ONW Advisory members, who are Miss Amanda Crawford, Miss Peggy Kelly, Dr. Wendy Lingle, and Dr. Tanya Harbison. And again, I cannot say enough, express my gratitude enough for Miss Leslie Seaton, Miss Shirley Pandolfi, and Miss Chiquita Carter for the phenomenal work they do and all the hats they wear here at the Mississippi Board of Nursing, Office of Nursing Workforce. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gentry. And one of the last items is the legislative committee. Ms. Clayton,
We have nothing to bring forward,
at least for now.
at least for now. It's off season.
I'll say, yeah, it's moving up on us pretty quickly, so I know that you and Mr. Bobinger and your committee will be very busy this fall.
I'll let him go to Neshoba and then we'll.
So I guess you put it on you, Mr. Bobinger. So with that being said,
Yes.
The strategic plan, did you bring that up?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That's what
And also, while we have, code of ethics books for each board member, you know, and they redid there, and so we have code of ethics books that we'll be passing out to each board member that we ordered for you.
thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. I greatly appreciate that because you can never learn too much, so.
Yeah, they
I
revised
appreciate
it, ANA at the delegate assembly, they talked about that, and so, I think it's a great opportunity to, you know, disperse it to our board members and hopefully, the nurses
Yes.
will adhere to those.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Dr. Johnson did bring up that if you notice in your packet, you have the strategic plan, and I believe it was also sent out to you earlier, I think, this week, late last week. And so with that being stated, hopefully everyone had an opportunity to review the strategic, plan. And with that being said, is there a motion on the floor to accept the strategic plan? So I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? It could be the next to last little packet in our stuff. Any discussion? With that being said, all those in favor, state aye. Any opposed? With that being said, it will move forward. So fantastic job, you guys, because that was a fantastic strategic plan you have placed for us. With that being said, at this point, I'm going to request a motion so that we can go into executive session related to the purposes of personnel matters. Oh, sorry, a motion to close. Go into executive session.
I make a motion to close to evaluate the need of an executive session.
Thank you. Second.